From the Ticats Audio Network, this is Ticats Today with Brayden Neville.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Ticats Today on the Ticats Audio Network for this Monday, June the 26th, 2023. I'm Brayden Neville, and today's show we will be hearing from Coach O, Matt Shiltz, Tim White, and I will also be breaking down the Ticats' performance in the home opener with Coach Sal. The Ticats were back in action Friday night for their home opener against the Montreal Alouettes, and it wasn't the home opener the team was looking for, falling 38-12 to go to 0-3 on the season. I was at the game. I felt as though the offense looked very good at times, especially in the start of the game, throwing for some huge plays right off the bat. Matt Shiltz at times looked very good, but it seemed like the Ticats' biggest issue was finishing those long drives and getting in the end zone. Matt Shiltz finished the game 25 for 47 with 345 passing yards, no touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. Not a single touchdown for the Cats at all in this game, with all 12 points coming from kicker Mark Leggio. He went 4 for 4 on the kicks. Not saying by any means this is Matt Shiltz's fault. There were several areas that had difficulties in this one, and I will be breaking down those difficulties and just the game in general with Coach Sal later in the show. This week, the Ticats have their bye week, and honestly, it couldn't have come at a better time. The team is looking to reset here, maybe go back to the drawing board, and it also gives some of those guys who are injured right now some time to heal up and hopefully get back healthy for that next game against the Ottawa Red Blacks. Coach O spoke about the Ticats heading into the bye week and the team's performance in the home opener following the game on Friday. Tough loss, just your thoughts following that one.
Disappointed. That's the effort at times was there. The execution obviously was not. And, I thought we played hard in spurts, but playing hard is a given. That's expected. We got to make more plays and less mistakes.
Heading into a bye week, do you think this will help a bit to reset a little bit here?
Yeah, I think everybody needs a break. This isn't good enough football to win, and so we're going to have to evaluate, everything that we're doing, and the goal is going to be the same. We need to come out of the bye. We need to be 1-3. We've got to put the ball in the end zone. We know we've got to take the ball away a little bit. I thought we picked it up a little bit in the second half there, but again, special teams. We give up a touchdown there in a game like this. Those are momentum swings. It seemed like it was going to be a back and forth game. That kind of gave them life. So there's in all three phases, we've got to be better. It's not good enough, and we'll take a look at everything from all angles. And so the bye for us right now is at a decent time.
That was Coach O. Now, Matthew Shiltz got the start in place of the injured Bo Levi Mitchell, who was placed on the 6-game injured list and had some very good drives throughout the game, but just wasn't able to find the end zone. He spoke about the home opener with the Ticats and his connection with his star receivers. First start of the season, obviously not the result you're looking for. Just what are your thoughts on the offense's performance in that game?
Yeah, it was tough. I mean, we came out trying to get some big shots, and, we capitalized on a few. We missed on a few others, and we just got to do a better job of staying on the field, picking up first downs. We can't each take turns, and I got to be better with the football. Simple as that.
And those end zone plays, what maybe could have been done differently to complete some of those and turn those into touchdowns?
Yeah, just execute. It's simple as that.
And then having Duke and Tim out there, just what was it like having those two to target?
Oh, I mean, they're awesome. They're good for a quarterback to be able to throw to those guys, and, love having them out on the field. I feel secure with them, so we'll get it right. That
was Matthew Shiltz, a guy who I have full faith will be able to bounce back after that loss. Now, Tim White was, in my opinion, the Ticats' best player on Friday night, finishing with a season-high 143 yards receiving, with 114 in the first quarter alone on just 2 plays, 2 of the biggest plays of the game. He spoke about his impressive game and more. Tim, statistically, your best game of the season. How'd you feel about your performance tonight?
I thought I played pretty well, but to me, I feel like that's secondary to winning. I feel like I wanted to be able to make more of an impact for our team and just get the guys going to be able to get a win.
A couple big plays between you and Matt. How was it playing with him tonight, and what do you feel maybe could have been done differently to complete a couple of those in the end zone?
Yeah, it felt good, but ultimately you have to get in the end zone, and that's one thing that we just didn't do tonight. And playing with Matt is obviously great. He's a great quarterback, and we just want to be able to translate it to wins.
And then heading into a bye week, do you think it's beneficial to be able to reset the body a little bit and maybe go back to the drawing board and have a little bit of a break here?
Yeah, I think the break is here at a pretty good time for us, and a lot of guys will be able to, regroup themselves and everybody really around the facility. But our eyes have to be about coming back here with a win. We have to find a way to win.
That was Tim White. Now, there's a lot to talk about when it comes to Friday's game, and with me now to break down the game is Coach Sal. Coach, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good, Brayden. How about yourself?
I'm doing great, thanks. I want to thank you for being on the show again with me today. Another tough game for the Ticats. I'm hoping one of these days we get to talk about a win, but the Ticats fall 38-12 to the Alouettes. What did you think about their performance?
Well, it's hard to evaluate their performance based on the ending of the ball game. I don't want the football team to be defined by what happened at the end of that ball game. There were some good things in the game. I thought the O-line, patchwork O-line, if you will, played pretty good. The opening play of the ball game I thought was a great way to start for Shiltz. A little bit of play action, a little bit of bootleg outside, maximum protection for him, and a big throw down the field to White. So all things, started out very well for them, but they couldn't finish their drives, and I think that was their downfall in that ball game.
Yeah, and getting into Matthew Shiltz, he starts over Bo Levi Mitchell, who's out with that injury, going 25 for 47, 345 yards, no touchdowns and 2 interceptions. So overall, what did you think of his performance?
Well, in golf, Brayden, we the saying goes that you drive for show and you putt for dough.
Yep.
Well, throwing deep balls provides a good show, but to win, you need the short game. You need those second down and 3 situations to convert. You need that 3rd and 1 to convert. They were great in the field goals. They were 4 for 4 with Lego, so that part was okay. But you got to put points on the board with touchdowns. You can't just rely on field goals.
Yeah, and I went golfing on Saturday, and I wasn't punting for dough or shooting for show or whatever way that goes. So, but I love the saying. Bo Levi Mitchell, he's out of the lineup. How important is it to get him back healthy?
Well, he's a franchise right now. That's why they brought him in to be the franchise. So he has to get back as soon as he can. But if you rush him, then you lose him for the rest of the year. Let's remember, we're only 3 games in to an 18-game schedule. Now, I was never in favor of an 18-game schedule when I was coaching because it's such a long, long time. Now it plays in favor of a team that's 0-3. You've got time to make things happen and to get yourself back into the football playoff picture.
And you mentioned the O-line earlier on, that you liked some of the stuff you saw from some of those replacement guys. Just maybe get a little more in detail about that. The guys like Sartor and Dayton Black coming into that lineup and starting on the O-line.
Well, Dayton Black is just a draft choice. He's going to be in fire as quick as you can get him there, and he'll progress because he's in the ball game. Sartor, I thought, handled himself pretty well on the outside. Of all the tackles that we've had this year, the revolving door of tackles, I think this group with Kemp on the left side and Sartor on the right side played as well as they could. And of course, Revenberg and Beard on the inside, they continue to do a good job.
No touchdowns in that game Friday, but it seemed like they were getting so close to the end zone and just couldn't finish the plays. What do you think needs to be done maybe differently to turn some of those 3 points into 6?
Well, obviously in the red zone, your offense changes because of the closeness to the goal line. But I go back to this. We're not playing a balanced offense. Shiltz was 25 of 47. Are we built to have 47 passes in a game when we only have 5 runs out of our running back? That's not a balanced offense. And so when you're unbalanced as they are, and you get into that score zone where teams are going to play you man for man on the outside, and they're going to crush the inside as hard as they can, you've got to have some kind of play action and run game in your favor. And if you have not run the ball at all in the ball game, they're not going to respect it. So, to me, they just have to bear down and put some practice time in that 20-yard line going in.
And now to the other side of the ball, another game where the defense allows more points, I'm sure, than they would like. That's 112 in the first 3 games. What have you seen on defense that you'd like to see maybe improve?
Well, overall, the pass rush to me has to be a dominant factor in the ball game. Yes, they sacked Cody Fajardo 4 times in the game. 2 of those sacks came from defensive linemen, one by Carney, one by the interior. Forgotten at the moment. Laurent got the other one.
Yeah.
The other 2 came from linebacker blitzes. Now, I look at Montreal and Noel Thorpe's defense. To me, when you play against Coach Noel Thorpe, the defensive coordinator for Montreal, he's a blitz man. He blitzes every kind and every way possible. Linebackers, combination blocks up or twists up front, etc. These are things that I think Hamilton needs to do to help that secondary. The secondary right now doesn't seem to be able to cover as tightly as they have to be in order to be a winner without the pass rush. So to me, the pass rush is the number 1 priority.
And now I'm going to move to the special teams, a group that I thought played pretty well in the first couple of games. It seems as though they had a little bit of trouble with that Montreal special teams, just maybe a little bit on them and what you saw from them on Friday night.
Well, the punt return by Worthy for a touchdown, we lost contain on the outside. That's a primary responsibility of one man. He has to be on the outside and force that man, the runner, to come back to the inside. But you look at it, Montreal had 5 punt returns in the game. They averaged 17 yards. Hamilton had 5 punt returns. They averaged 8.6 yards. So to me, the cover teams need to be better, and the return team blocking needs to be better. So special teams, they didn't have the penalties that they've had in the past couple of ball games, but at the same time, they're not hitting on all cylinders.
And now I'm going to move to something that happened before the game, and that was Speedy Banks being honored before the game. Maybe just a bit on what you can give me on his career here in Hamilton.
Oh, Speedy Banks, Kansas State alumni, as I am too. You got to love the guy. I mean, he was dynamic in every aspect of the game. Early on in his career, he was just a return guy and a super return guy. And then when the regime changed and we had a new head coach come in, they put him out as a receiver. He became the primary receiver, a dominant receiver in the league. Everything they asked Speedy Banks to do, Brandon did. He did it, and he did it very well. And I go back to the Grey Cup game in which he ran one back all the way for a touchdown, and we had a very unfortunate penalty on that, which cost the Cup.
Yeah, that's a tough one. That's one Ticats fans probably want to forget. Going into this bye week, do you think this is going to be beneficial maybe for this extra bit of time to reset, or does this kind of worry you, the timing of this bye week?
No, the timing is excellent. They need this time. They need to evaluate everything that they're doing all the way from their training camp through the first 3 games. They need to reevaluate every aspect of the game, every coaching call that they made, every coaching responsibility that they have. They've got to look themselves in the mirror. Then players have to look themselves in the mirror. And everybody has to get onto a new idea that we're not going to allow this to happen. We're not going to be defined by what the ugliness of that ball game was. We're going to be a better football team. And this time off, a little bit of rest time. They need that. Give them the rest. But when they come back with a vengeance.
And finally, I want to end this on a positive note here. What did you like from this team, or some highlights you can give me from that game on Friday?
The highlights to me are always the same. It's the effort that the players put in. As long as I can see the players putting that much effort into a ball game, I know things will get better. These are good athletes. They would not be on this team if they were not good athletes. These are good athletes, and their effort is excellent. And as long as they continue to show effort, and improve a little bit at a time. Every day you have to improve a little bit. And when you watch practice, you see good practice habits. Now those practice habits have to carry over to the game. And I think we'll be a successful football team when we get back from this break.
Well, Coach Sal, a pleasure as always. And I'm hoping next time we chat, we have something positive to talk about, hopefully a win here. But I always appreciate you coming on, and then I hope you have a good rest of your day.
Thank you, Brayden. You too.
Thank you once again to Coach Sal for being on the show, as well as Tim White, Matthew Shiltz, and Coach O. Remember, season ticket holders, you can now purchase your Grey Cup tickets for this year's 110th Grey Cup in Hamilton, and tickets will become available to the general public on July 1st. That's all the time for me today. Thank you for listening to this episode of Ticats Today.